everybody, and welcome back. This is Cancer 2 Decan video. And as usual, I'm going to spend a little bit of time talking about how these energies came into my life and what I experienced from these cards before we go and switch to the next set. So right off the get-go, I had mentioned in the previous videos that my husband's family, there was a really bad accident that took place in his family. So that is still an ongoing thing. So the Two of Cups for me was very much about that husband-wife energy of pulling together and supporting each other and helping each other get through a difficult time. My husband is still frequently going back and forth to the hospital, and it takes a lot of work on his behalf as well as my behalf to just kind of like here, my job is to hold the house down and to make sure everything's being taken care of here and being ran properly here. And on his behalf, it's going to work and then back and forth to the hospital and all of that other stuff, right? So it's been very much a Two of Cup times in far as just us being a partnership and pulling together and helping each other out and supporting each other. So that was very much what came through. And, the Empress card about like creativity and nurturing has been about when we have time together, nurturing each other, hanging out with each other, enjoying each other's company. It's been very much about like love, the card of Venus, right? I very much came to the thoughts of just love and compassion and understanding and being there for each other. So that's kind of what's been going on the last 10 days or so in this Decan. Um, it's been crazy. It really honestly has been. I'd say to my husband all the time that we should write a book because our life is insane. The stuff that happens is crazy to us. Like sometimes I just don't even get it. And I sit down and I'm just like, what the hell kind of contract did we sign when we came here? Because things are nuts. But anyways, so let's switch these cards out. There's not a whole lot of cards that get switched out today. And we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about this new card that's coming in. And we'll see what's coming forward, right? So we're going to remove these, all stay the same up here. We're still in Cancer. It's still a water sign. We're still in the cardinal phase. Venus is going to be switched out. So let's switch Venus out. Let's get rid of her. And we're going to put in place the card that goes there. And then we're switching out the Two of Cups and the Empress. The Chariot is staying with us. So let's get rid of these cards. And we're now going to be in the Three of Cups, which is one of my most favorite cards when it comes to tarot. At least when I get it in my personal readings. And then we are hanging out with the Magician again. All right, so these are the new cards that are in place for this Decan. And this is what's happening. So let's look at this card. Let's flip this card. All right, so our planetary energy is Mercury, which we know is the planet of communication and technology for the most part, right? A few other things, but that's pretty much what it's known for. And let's just get in here and spend some time with this. So for me, the Three of Cups is very much about when I get this card in my personal readings, I'm going to be hanging around with my favorite people, which is my mom and my niece and just my soul tribe, my strong women support. This is what this is about. This is about hanging around with my family, the women of my family in particular, but it also can just be about having fun and going out and enjoying myself with anybody. But it tends to be like me, my mom, and my niece, or it used to be like me, my niece, and my other niece. It used to be just, it's like my family. It's my woman circle that's around me that I love dearly. So I'm excited to see that because either which way you slice it, the Three of Cups is a fantastic card. And I'm really excited about having that. The Magician, obviously, that's manifesting, that, having the abilities and all the tools that you need to make things happen. And the Chariot, once again, like we said in the last video, it's that balance, it's that maintaining balance, maintaining direction and focus, maybe even picking a direction and being more, assertive with it, right? So that is our new cards that are in place. Now, I'm going to get in here and I'm going to read out of the books like I usually do, and we're going to see what this is all about. I already read ahead, obviously, with the Susan T. Chang book, and some of her concepts were really quite interesting with the Three of Cards, or the Three of Cups, but honestly, it's pretty much like her views on the card is pretty much aligned with the way that I've always seen them. So I don't feel like there's really any big secrets that are hidden in this card, other than there was some things that she mentioned that I never really thought of before. So we'll get to that in a minute. Let's get in and read about these cards. So as usual, we're going to start with the Stars Divine, I think, and let's get this planetary stuff. So we're in Mercury. So Mercury has a pretty short cycle. Not as short as the moon. The moon, obviously, the moon is the shortest, right? And the rest just go up from there. And yeah, like it's the moon and Mercury that have the shortest cycles. And that's why we go into Mercury in retrograde so much, is because it really honestly, it's 88 days. Every 88 days we have to deal with it. All right, so it rules Gemini, Virgo, and the 3rd and 6th houses. So Mercury, the messenger, is the planet of communication, thinking, and intelligence. Its primary focus are ideas, concepts, and the sharing of information. It is both teacher and student. Technology, wit, rationality, and logic are its allies. So that is the stuff that will be coming in. Right away, it makes me think of just FaceTiming or phone calls, different things like that happening. Maybe spending some time like emailing and reaching out and contacting and connecting with the women of my life. More than most likely, I'll be visiting them, but I also do talk to them and FaceTime with them all the time. I talk to them almost every day. All right, now let's get in. We're going to read about these cards here. And then I'm going to go to the Susan T. Chang book. All right, so we've already kind of visited these cards, but we'll go back to them. So we have the Magician, which is the Magus of Power. Magus, there's a bunch of different ways, right? The symbol of a winged mercurial crest appears at the top of the card. The snake-like creature that issues from beneath the crest are similar to those found in the Cadius, held by the radiating figure of Mercury to the left of the card. The magician is seen as a communicator with the gods and the storer of knowledge, which he willingly dispenses, similar to Mercury, who, in mythology, is a winged messenger of the gods. Thus, the magician, through his actions and expeditions of will, can bring unity between the divine intellect and physical worlds. By intelligent, the idea of God is conceived, and by willpower, works of good nature are accomplished. The altar at his feet contains the symbols of the 4 suits, the swords, the wands, the cups, and the images of a pentagram on the book. There is also a burning candle and a triangular symbol for earth. The picture of Mercury appears to radiate before him. Very cool. All right, let's get in here. Look at that. Very neat card. I like it. All right. And then let's read about the 3 of Cups. So it is Lord of Abundance. From 3 cups rise lotuses and water lilies. Streams of water pour from the flowers into the cups. The cups on top pour water into the lower cups, and the flowers in the lower cups pour water into the lowest part of the card, in a continuing process of replenishment. Above and below appear the symbols of Mercury and Cancer. So that's this one right here, Lord of Abundance. I love it. Look at that. So beautiful. That's a gorgeous card. Yes, very nice. And then we already visited the Chariot, the last video. So I'm not going to revisit this again. And then let's flip our card. Let's see. All right, so we are in Waning Crescent. which in the Moonology, they refer to it as a balsamic moon. And we have a time for healing, which is excellent. The funny thing is actually my niece, the last time I saw her, she did ask for a Reiki session. So maybe we'll be doing some Reiki with her. That would be really cool. Definitely a time for healing. I feel like there's just a lot of healing that's happening on a many, many different levels in my life right now. There's a lot of people around me that are going through illnesses or injuries that have a lot of healing ahead of them. There's just a lot of healing aspects happening. I've had quite a few people coming in for Reiki sessions. So you have that whole side of the healing aspect happen. I actually, if you follow me on Instagram, I posted about a Super 7 scepter crystal that I just found, which I put straight into my crystal Reiki toolbox. So it's going to start doing stuff. So I kind of fell upon a healing crystal during all of this. So very, very interesting the way that these things have come in. And like honestly, I can't wait to put it into action. So it's definitely my next client coming in that's getting crystal Reiki, they'll be experiencing my brand new Super 7 scepter. So I'm really excited about that. But yeah, so now let's get into Susan Chang's book and see about what she's saying about all of this. So right off the get-go, she talks about how it's the three of cups is not a complex card. There's three dancing, flower-crowned women raising their cups in a celebratory toast. Most tarot card readers recall drawing this card on occasion of a meal or celebration with female relatives or close women friends, right? That's what I kind of already referred to. The atmosphere is one of relaxation, mirth, and enjoyment. Very much so. And then she talks about how it's very much about the abundance mind, like an abundant mindset that is very much present during this card, which is awesome. So it's interesting, and the one thing she talks about how the Three of Cups can refer to so many things because there's so many threes, right? She talks about the Wiccan, the rule of three, right? Whatever I cast onto you casts back onto me three times full, right? So she does refer to the Wiccan rule of three, but she also talks about how there's three trimesters that bring each child into the world, the three graces who bring joy to society, and the three fates that spin the fates of our destiny on the wheel of fortune. She talks about the three faces of Hecate. That she presents to her followers, the threefold of the phases of the moon, and the nature of women as mother, maiden, and crone, right? So it's very much, and that was like the cool aspect of this card that I didn't even really take into consideration is the three. And it's very interesting because when I said to you, like this card is symbolizing like me spending time with my mom and my niece, who are like my spiritual tribe. It's like literally my niece is in the maiden phase, I'm in the mother phase, and my mom's in the crone phase. So we have like the three levels being depicted here as well with my family and who I spend time with. So I thought that was really interesting too. And she said because of this rule of three and the number three strongly existing in the Three of Cups, she says sometimes she likes to look at it as three times three, right? So she times that energy by three. And what she means by that is, once again, referring to that Wiccan rule of three, right? So Three of Cups three times equals nine. So that means we're then looking at the Nine of Cups, which is about happiness. So she says, you think about this as abundance times three equals nine, which is happiness, right? The Nine of Cups is a card of happiness. And then she says, but it can also work in the other direction, right? Where you have the Three of Swords and you times that by three, you end up with the Nine of Swords. So three times the sorrow equals cruelty and despair. So she talks about how important it is for us to spend time celebrating and being happy and abundant and surrounding ourselves with our loved ones and concentrating that and magnifying that so that we end up at the Nine of Cups. and not spend time in the Three of Swords energy, right? Because then that just leads to anxiety, worry, and fear. And that right there is how she talks about like the daily, everyday mood management and how important it is to create these energies and these systems in your life and to pay attention to that, right? So she says the takeaway from this is if you draw the Three of Cups, give yourself into its pleasures. It is the reward and the comfort for many trials, and it deserves your full attention. Abandon that scarcity mindset and be happy for yourself and others. Good things abound, and everyone may have their fill. There is no need to gorge yourself, which may lead to the Four of Cups. The greatest enjoyment is proportional. And she also refers to how, like, take it, like, get it while the going is good, because it'll only last for so long and then be gone again. So enjoy it while you can. And I love that concept very much because I feel like this is a moment. This is, you only get this for a little bit and then lifes and things catch right back up to the way that they were, right? So this is an excellent 10 days in store for us, I feel. As usual, I'm not going to touch on them too much, but we are still in these little extra energies, right? So we still have the Ace of Wands, the Princess of Wands, and the Queen of Cups in place. And for the RW, that is the Ace of Wands, the Page of Wands instead of the Princess, and the Queen of Cups. So those are those little extra energies that you can tap into if you want to. And yeah, so this has been pretty much it. This is what our next 10 days look like. And I'm excited for it. I love it. It's going to be in a fantastic energy. So if we refer to Susan's wheel, this is in place from July 1st to July 10th. So our next video will be July 11th, and we'll be looking at the Four of Cups. But for right now, we're in the Three of Cups. So enjoy this period. You've got from July 1st to July 10th to really enjoy those ladies in your life and your soul tribe. So get out there, enjoy these beautiful moments, make some memories, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks. Bye.